This contingency framework for using decision models give you here problem consensus and a solution knowledge. If you are fully aware of the problem, so you're certain about the problem, then maybe you follow this individual rational approach, computation, and in an organization you do management science. And that's when you have the solution, you're certain about the solution. Are you guys okay with this? Let's say, for example, you don't come to the classes, and therefore you fail. Are you certain about the problem? We're certain. We're not going to the classes. Is the solution, are you certain about the solution? If you go to the classes, you will pass? Yes. So this is an example of number one. That's a rational approach. Because of this happened. You fix this will be fixed. Do you see? On the other hand, if the problem is undefined, if you don't know, let's say you fail the exam, but at the same time you don't know why. You're uncertain about the problem. So here we've got this uncertainty about the problem, but you have some certain, if you study hard, or let's say if you can maybe, the exam was very difficult, you know the problem, you're not very certain why you failed, but if the exam was, more organized or more clear, then you will pass. And here maybe you want to follow the bargaining coalition formation. So you go talk to your friends, let's go talk to the instructor, let's have our exam fixed. Okay? This is what we call the Carnegie model. Okay? Now, if you are certain about the problem, but you are uncertain about what's the best solution, it's more of a trial and error. Let's say, for example, you fail, and you fail because you studied hard and you just couldn't get the material. Okay? So, you did not get the material. Okay? But you're not very sure how to solve this problem. Then you go and you do this trial and error. Do you know what's trial and error? You try. Maybe you try work with my friends and study hard. Try go to a tutor. Try ask the TA. Try visit the instructor in the office. You see which one of these will help you, get the material okay. And in terms of organizations, you will do the incremental decision model. So that's when you do it like step by step. Remember the incremental? You try this one at a time, until you find a solution. Okay. No, that's not the garbage. This is the garbage. When you do the garbage, this is the garbage can model. You take from the garbage if you are uncertain about the problem and you're uncertain about the solution. Okay. So that's when you go try from the garbage. And if you're in an individual decision, you will go bargaining, judgments, inspiration, maybe imitation. What other people are doing, let me try something like that. If you're in a company, maybe you want to do the Carnegie and the incremental, and then you evolve to the garbage can. So the garbage can model. Just try to do something. Okay? You're not sure what's the problem. You're not sure what's the solution. So just do something. Okay? Any questions on this? Special decision circumstances. Today's environment presents a high-stake decisions that may be made quickly. Managers must deal with high-velocity environment. You guys know what we mean by high-velocity environment? We're saying that the environment is highly changing, very fast, very quickly. So if you're a manager, you need to be ready for that. Learning from decision mistakes. How many people learn from their mistakes? How many people they don't learn from their mistakes? Okay, so you need to learn from your mistakes. We've got this idea of understanding cognitive and personal biases. Do you guys know what is personal bias? Personal bias, when you make the wrong decision and you know that you're making the wrong decision because there's some sort of a personal bias. Do you know the word bias?
Yeah,
you favor something wrong. Okay, where you favor something and it's based on not very accurate or correct. Okay. The idea of escalating commitment. Do you know what's escalation of commitment?
Escalating is rising.
Yeah, escalating of commitment when you increase your commitment. Let's say you Remember the idea of the escalator? If you step on the escalator, you can't go back. And every time it goes up, it becomes even worse for you to go back. You see? So that's when you make a mistake and you continue on the wrong mistake, even though you know you should stop and go back. Prospect theory. Do you know what's the prospect theory? You hope things will be better. Groupthink.
Like optimistic stuff?
Yeah, prospect theory, you hope that things will be better while you know it will never be better. Groupthink. You know what's a groupthink? Groupthink, when you start to think like everyone else. You don't think for your own self. Rather, you see what other people are doing and you follow them without paying attention to what you should be doing. Evidence-based management. You know what's evidence-based management? You want to make decisions, or you manage based on evidence. You see, not based on hopes or dreams. You know, we've got some evidence, you base it on evidence. Encourage dissent and diversity. You always want to have diversity. You want to listen to the other opinions. What other people are saying, you take that into consideration. Are you guys okay with these?
I have some questions. The manager.
So at the end of this chapter, it talks about these design essentials. Most decisions are not made in a logical manner. Do you always want to make every decision of yours logical?
No.
Maybe we want to, but we can't, because there is not enough time and resources to make all of our decisions logical. So individuals, when they make decisions, organizational decisions, are not made by a single person. That's the difference between individual and groups. So if you're an organization, you've got a lot of people participate in the decision. While if you're an individual, you make it by yourself. Conflict exists when problems are not agreed on. So we want to make sure we understand the problem. Because if we understand the problem, that's half the solution. And garbage can model become a description of a decision making. Some people, they just need to do something. So this is the garbage can model. When do you take a garbage can model decision? If you don't know the problem and you don't know the solution,
When you try,
completely lost. You try to do
when
anything.
you try many times and you couldn't achieve what you want.
If you couldn't understand the problem or couldn't understand the solution, it's not that you tried everything.
It's not about how much.
Organizations operate in a high velocity environment. Allowing biases to cloud decision making can have negative consequences. Do you know what is bias? So if you have more bias, then you will get more negative consequences. Any questions on this chapter? You guys are amazing.